no, seriously, how dumb can you actually be? You live in a country where your lights switch off randomly like a bad horror movie. Your Wi-Fi is so slow you could send a message via pigeons faster. Your government robs you blind, and your only response is complaining on Twitter using data you can barely even afford because you're underpaid wherever you work. And then out of nowhere, Elon Musk, perhaps the richest man on earth, the guy who literally grew up here, comes in with Starlink, a solution that could fix half your problems. And what do? We reject it. We literally say, nah, we'd rather suffer. He's a racist. And the best part is the reason we're rejecting it is because some people on Twitter decided that Elon Musk is a racist. Oh, boo-hoo. Oh, Crimea River. This is why South Africa is stuck in the dark ages, literally and figuratively. Instead of grabbing opportunities, we throw tantrums like spoiled little brats. Let's talk about why this might be the dumbest decision we've ever made. Imagine you're drowning. You're flailing, you're choking, you're gasping for air, you're swallowing excess water. You're about to go under when someone who, mind you, is literally one of the richest men on the planet throws you a life raft. And what do? I know. You spit in his face, you slap the raft away and scream, "Now you're a racist, I'd rather die." That's exactly what South Africa just did with Starlink. This country, the land of rolling blackouts, laughable Wi-Fi speeds, and government officials that make FIFA referees look honest, just turned away the most advanced internet system on the planet because some people feel a certain way about Elon Musk. Not because of logic, not because of facts, it's just because they feel a certain way about Elon Musk. And what exactly is the argument? That Elon Musk did some weird out of context hand gesture that looks like a Nazi salute. Oh, boo-hoo. We are literally rejecting affordable, fast, uninterrupted internet in a country where half the people can't even afford a YouTube video at more quality than 144p for 30 minutes, all because someone saw a screenshot and decided, yeah, Elon Musk is Hitler 2.0. Tell me something. Who actually said Elon Musk is a racist? I want to find out who that person is. I want to find out who that person is and who decided to start this nonsense. Show me one logical reason why Starlink is bad for us. You can't, because you don't have one. You just saw some Twitter warriors with PhDs in outrage, and suddenly now we must all suffer and stick with overpriced, unreliable internet just to protect your fragile emotions. Bruv, this country is already a mess, but when a South African-born billionaire actually tries to do something that helps, we treat him like he's some evil colonial overlord trying to enslave the nation. You guys love to cry, Elon Musk abandoned us, he forgot about his home country and everything. But the moment he actually brings us a game-changing technology that could revolutionize the way we do business, education, and remote work, we spit in his face and say, no thanks, colonizer. Make it make sense. Let's be honest, South Africa's internet is garbage. Garbage, like what Gru said on Despicable Me. Your Wi-Fi is so slow that even a pigeon with a USB stick tied to its leg could transfer data faster. Every night, you have to choose between watching a YouTube video or keeping your family warm with the data bill you just burned through. You think Netflix is buffering? No, my guy. That's just a PowerPoint slideshow at this point. That's how bad it is here. Load shedding hits and your router turns into nothing but a useless plastic brick for 2 hours. Now imagine a world where that wasn't a problem. A world where Starlink gives you fast, unlimited internet. Even when Eskom is throwing a tantrum for all we care, you would still be using internet. Imagine being able to run an online business, study, work remotely, and just watch a damn YouTube video without wanting to throw your router out the window. Imagine a world like that. That's what Starlink could have done for me and you. But no, some government geniuses who are probably still using BlackBerry curve phones decided, nah, let's just stick with the slow, overpriced networks we've been suffering with for years. South Africa just rejected a world-class internet system because what? Some government official is too busy taking bribes from local telecom companies that don't want to compete with something better, faster, and cheaper? Now, let's talk about this racist Elon Musk salute nonsense, because it actually is that, nonsense. First off, who even decides what a hand gesture means? Is it the same people who wrote your history books and propaganda about Shaka Zulu and Albert Einstein? Is it the same people who tell you when you get to have and not have electricity? Or is it the people that were forcing you to take a non-FDA approved medical jab against an uncommon cold in the early 2020s? Who decides this stuff? The Nazis didn't invent raising your hand, guys. Hitler just decided, hey, this means hail me now. Does that mean we can never raise our hands in a classroom again? If a black person down the street did the same gesture and said, kill the Boers, would we still freak out? Be honest. If an activist stood on stage, did the same hand gesture, and saluted Save the Children, would you suddenly call them a white supremacist? If I raised my hand in that manner to answer a question in class, now am I a Nazi now? Am I Kanye West now? See how stupid that logic is? See how stupid you look when you think like that? A gesture only means something if you decide it does. Elon Musk wasn't standing in front of a swastika wearing a military uniform screaming about world domination. He's a rich tech nerd who builds rockets and internet satellites. He's not an evil dictator, but some Twitter clowns screenshot a blurry frame of a live stream, and suddenly South Africa is convinced he's worse than apartheid itself. I'll give you an example with perhaps the most infamous cult leader of all time, Charles Manson, the all-around psycho who had the US on a chokehold back in the 60s. I know most of you watching this don't even know who Charles Manson is because, let's face it, the history you were taught at your schools is useless. So let me introduce you to him because I'm better than all your history teachers. Imagine a dude who looked like a homeless wizard, right? Talked like a conspiracy theorist, very short for some reason, had too much caffeine, and somehow convinced a group of hippies to commit brutal murders for him. Yep, that's Manson. Now, how does this whole Elon Musk Nazi salute situation relate to him? In an interview, Charles Manson was asked about the swastika that was tattooed on his forehead. You want to know what he said? He said, well, that's just a symbol. It can mean anything I want it to mean. Hitler made it mean what he wanted it to mean. You can make it mean what you want it to mean, so let me make it what I want it to mean. And he wasn't wrong. Symbols don't have inherent meaning. They mean whatever the person using them decides they mean. The cross, the Holy Cross, was once a symbol of execution and fear. Now it represents faith and Christianity. The peace sign was originally a symbol for nuclear disarmament. You probably didn't know that too, because now it's something kids throw up in selfies. Even the raised fist has been used by both activists and totalitarian regimes for completely opposite causes. This could mean Black Lives Matter. It could also mean freedom is coming tomorrow. So when someone takes a hand gesture, a symbol, or a word and assigns it with their own twisted interpretation to it, that doesn't mean the symbol itself is inherently evil. It just means they gave it meaning. And just like that, someone can reclaim it and make it mean something else entirely. You know who you should be really mad at though? The government that keeps electricity away from you like it's some luxury item. The greedy companies that overcharge you for snail speed internet. The politicians who would rather line their own pockets and buy their kids PS5s than actually improve this country. But no, it's Elon Musk's fault that your Wi-Fi is trash, right? It's Elon Musk's fault that you can't even afford basic services. How does that make sense? You're mad at the guy bringing solutions instead of the ones creating the potholes and the problems. Let's be real, you can't afford Starlink not because it's too expensive, but because your country is just way too corrupt and your country is in the toilet. You can barely afford a loaf of bread and basic electricity, and you want to complain about high-speed satellite internet. You can't even afford to charge your phone properly, but Elon Musk is the bad guy. Rejecting Starlink is a setback for business, education, and everything else in between. This isn't just about being able to watch TikTok without buffering or loading. It's bigger than that. Look at it from the way I am. Starlink would have transformed South African businesses, especially for small entrepreneurs and freelancers, the ones you like to brag about. Remote work, no problem. Online schooling, flawless. E-commerce, with Starlink, that's faster transactions and smoother operations. Load shedding doesn't even matter anymore because your internet still works. You won't feel it. Instead, you decided to stay in the Stone Age. You chose to continue lagging behind the rest of the world. What do you think happens when the rest of the world has ultra-fast, uninterrupted internet, and you're still praying for signal in your own house? Your country gets left behind. Common sense. And you have the nerve to be shocked when South Africans keep running overseas to find success? Maybe, just maybe, it's because we keep rejecting progress like it's some kind of curse. The government is keeping you independent, and you're letting them by rejecting Starlink. Let's get something straight. The South African government doesn't want you to get Starlink. Tell me if I'm telling lies. Not because they care about regulations or policy compliance or Donald Trump is bullying them. No. These are the same people who can't regulate potholes or keep the lights on. So please spare me the rules matter nonsense. The real reason is simple. Control. They want this in your head. They want your brain. If you have access to fast, unlimited, uncensored internet, that means you can educate yourself beyond what the government can ever want you to know. You can start businesses and make money online just like this, becoming financially independent. You can call out corruption without being silenced by local networks controlled by the state. And guess what? That terrifies them more than you think. Here's why. The government needs you broke, uninformed, and dependent on them for everything, so that they can be communist, right? That's why they overprice the local internet services now and make it some bureaucratic nightmare to bring in new competitors like Starlink. It's because they don't want you having unfiltered access to knowledge, economic freedom, or global opportunities. They don't want your kids to be smart. It's not about Elon Musk being racist. Nonsense. It's about keeping you under control. And what's worse, it's not that. It's that you're falling for it. Instead of fighting for Starlink, instead of fighting for Elon Musk, South Africans are out here playing the victim, defending the same system that's screwing them over Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels style. If you can't see how this is another way to keep you in poverty and ignorance, then congratulations, you're exactly where they want you to be. Easy enough, isn't it? And then there's the classic, but Elon Musk is a billionaire, he doesn't care about us argument. Let me tell you this. What phone are you reading this on? It's probably an iPhone or a Samsung. Did I guess right? I know, I'm a genius. What app are you using? YouTube, Twitter, WhatsApp to watch me? What sneakers are you wearing? Nike? Adidas? All these were created by rich capitalist entrepreneurs who don't care about you. But somehow, that didn't stop you from buying their products. Or did it? You tell me. But now, when a billionaire is actually offering you a service that can improve your life, suddenly you grow a moral compass now. Suddenly it's, we don't support billionaires. We support our own people. Shut up. Shut up. You support billionaires every single day. You just don't like Elon Musk because he's controversial, doesn't beg for your approval, doesn't support the EFF, and he actually calls out the nonsense in our society when he sees it. Let's be honest. If you were any other race, if you were black, this wouldn't even be a debate. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. No one would be complaining if Elon Musk was a black person. South Africans love to play the oppression card while actively rejecting solutions that could lift them out of it. And then years later, we'll be sitting in the dark on overpriced internet still complaining about how rich people don't help us. Meanwhile, the rest of the world will be moving forward using Starlink, Tesla, SpaceX, making money and building their futures while we're still out here fighting over which politician stole the most money and whether Julius Malema is a racist or not. Come on, South Africa, once again, you have stabbed yourself in the chest. Once again, you have done this to yourself. You want to know why I went viral with my second last video? The video where I spoke about how black communities actively self-sabotage themselves. You want to guess? It's because I was right. Not just about black communities, but about South Africa as a whole. This country hates solutions. We hate solutions. It's like we are addicted to suffering. Slavery has been drilled so deep into our minds. A sick part of us actually likes it, like some sick fetish. We like being the losers. We like being enslaved. And every time someone tries to improve things, we find a reason to reject it. We cry about being forgotten. But when we get help, we throw it away, just like used gum. We complain about bad internet, but then we reject the best internet system available right now. We scream about oppression, but keep voting for the same corrupt leaders keeping us down. Guys, make it make sense. At some point, you have to ask, do we want to stay poor and struggling? Because it sure as hell looks like it. So here's my message to South Africa. Take this from Summer Sambit himself, a YouTuber actually worth watching. Elon Musk doesn't need you. You need Elon Musk. You. He's not losing any sleep over this. He's still gonna go to Mars, launching rockets and running trillion-dollar businesses, while you're stuck watching Netflix on 240p with a buffering circle of doom. He tried to help, but you rejected him. Now, enjoy your load shedding, you entitled brats.